On Monday, November 21st, 2022, the day after the 2022 100,000 graduation ceremony, Andrew Tribe leader in Busan conducted the Monday Heaven Independence Army education for members. In the video, he said this about the 100,000 graduation ceremony. The enemy say half of them are existing members. That's right. So what? In fact, most of the informants say that over 90% were existing members, but the tribe leader shortened it to 50%. Anyway, he clearly admits the existence of fake graduates. He has no choice but to say this because the members knew they were the fake graduates. However, it was no problem for the members to attend the graduation ceremony as fake graduates. This is because they were told that they weren't going to attend the graduation ceremony in disguise, but to fill the seats for graduates who are unable to attend. The Andrew Tribe leader continues to say this. There were 100,000 graduates, and as we saw at the site, there were many overseas families among the graduates, right? Don't you think it would be very difficult for them to attend? We filled the void because they were graduates. It means that Korean members were sitting in graduation gowns at the Daegu Stadium on behalf of overseas graduates. The number of overseas graduates announced at the graduation ceremony was 43,030. If so, at least 43,030 of the 80,000 graduates sitting at the Daegu Stadium were not true graduates but existing members. Shincheonji members. Don't you have any doubts about what he said? Shincheonji said that overseas graduates also attended the ceremony online in real time. So why do existing Korean members have to attend in Daegu wearing graduation gowns on behalf of overseas graduates? What I am about to tell you from now on is the information I received directly from overseas former members and interim members regarding the 2022 100,000 graduation ceremony. I will pass them on to you as it is. First of all, I think I should talk about the 2019 100,000 graduation ceremony in New Zealand. There were many fake graduates among the graduates who appeared in the New Zealand graduation ceremony video in 2019. The 6 people marked in yellow here are fake graduates wearing graduation gowns, even though they were already members at that time. And the other 6 people marked in red are existing members who attended the 2019 and 2022 100,000 graduation ceremony as graduates. In the 2022 New Zealand 100,000 graduation video, you can see the faces of 3 of these 6. For reference, Shincheonji misrepresented New Zealand as Australia in the 2022 graduation ceremony video. But this is a New Zealand graduation ceremony video, and you can see that there is a New Zealand flag behind the graduation ceremony. In the 2022 video, 7 additional people who attended as fake graduates appeared even though they were existing members. Then where are the other 3 out of the 6 people marked in red at the 2019 graduation ceremony? Surprisingly, these 3 attended as New Zealand graduates in 2019, but in the 2022 graduation video, they appeared again as graduates from Papua New Guinea, Fiji, and Samoa, respectively. And in this video of Samoa's graduation ceremony, 7 additional fake graduates were identified. All of them were New Zealand Shincheonji members. In addition, 1 graduate from Tonga and Vanuatu each were also existing members of New Zealand Shincheonji. Another ridiculous thing is that 3 graduates who appear in Fiji also appear in Samoa. The reason why this was possible was because the videos of 6 out of the 7 countries in Oceania, excluding Australia, were all filmed by Shincheonji members in the same building where New Zealand Shincheonji members had gathered in Auckland. An informant gave me the address of the building where New Zealand Shincheonji filmed the 2022 graduation ceremony. And that address was also listed as the address of Shincheonji in Auckland on the Facebook page titled What is Mount Zion, Shincheonji, New Zealand. This message was sent to me by an ex-member of Shincheonji in New Zealand before the 2022 100,000 graduation ceremony about the 2019 100,000 graduation ceremony. Let me read the message as it is. Hi Ezra, I did attend the graduation ceremony wearing a gown and was told I should attend because I hadn't graduated yet, even though I passed over in 2017. I was told Passover and graduation are separate, and since we are a small church, We didn't have any graduation regularly, so this was our first graduation since I passed over. However, Shincheonji claims that the 100K graduates were evangelized in less than a year, which is not true since many in New Zealand who graduated had already passed over in 2017 and 2018. In any case, the whole graduation was deceitful since many graduates had already passed over in previous years. Roughly 70% of New Zealand graduates were not evangelized in 2019. And there is no supporting evidence that 100K people graduated. Even the membership numbers published by Shincheonji do not support the claim. In New Zealand, there was a similar testimony not only in 2019, but also right after the 2022 graduation ceremony. This was posted by a New Zealand member on the Shincheonji subreddit shortly after the 2022 100,000 graduation ceremony about Shincheonji's fake graduation ceremony. Let me also read this post. I can vouch for this too in my region. They also used members to say they are from different countries. If you look at the Oceania region, you will see members in multiple regions. I brought up the numbers to the leadership. You can count it on the screen, and I'm still awaiting a response. It isn't a simple mistake. It's a propaganda. Unfortunately for them, their errors can be seen very plainly on the screen. Shame on them. I was asked to come to the graduation filming like everyone else. I didn't go because I didn't see the point of being filmed. Later, because not a lot of people went, we were told the leaders were up very late as not many people came and they were guilty tripping members because of laziness. It's not laziness if they don't need to attend, if they already graduated. It's criminal and deceitful. The words of this member are not fake. This is a text message I received from an informant by Shincheonji New Zealand to encourage existing members to participate in the 2022 100,000 graduation ceremony. Let me read this text message. The church is making a graduation promotional video on Saturday 29th October, next Saturday at 1 p.m. What a fantastic opportunity to be part of this. Please let me know as soon as possible if you'd like to be involved with this. This event is something that will be recorded in history. It would be lovely to share stories about our own graduations one day. So the summary of the informant's testimonies is as follows. First, New Zealand Shincheonji leaders sent a text message to all existing members to attend the graduation ceremony. Second, the New Zealand members didn't attend the graduation ceremony together online on November 20th, 2022, when the 100,000 graduation ceremony was held. But 3 weeks in advance, on Saturday, October 29th, 2022, 1 p.m., filmed a graduation ceremony video and sent it to Korea. Third, the video was filmed in a building at 1 Burton Street, Grafton, Auckland, New Zealand, where Auckland Shincheonji worship. Fourth, many existing members dressed as graduates and filmed a promotional video for the graduation ceremony together. Fifth, leaders contact existing members who didn't attend the graduation ceremony until late at night to make them feel guilty for being lazy. Do you think these things only happened in New Zealand? A German informant testified that in the video of 2019 graduation ceremony of SN Shincheonji in Germany, about 30 or more graduates, including the graduates in the front and middle, and most of the graduates in the back, were fake graduates. And the informant said that 8 of the graduates in the 2019 graduation ceremony video had already left Shincheonji. In the video of SN graduation ceremony in Germany in 2022, there were 10 identifiable faces, and among the 10, the informant testified that 3 were existing members. Also, in the 2022 Dutch Shincheonji graduation ceremony video, a Dutch informant pointed out 5 people were existing members. In addition, I received a report that the person who appears as a graduate from Equatorial Guinea in the 2022 graduation ceremony is also an existing member in South Africa. Furthermore, an informant from Chicago's Shincheonji accurately identified 10 people as fake graduates in the 2022 graduation ceremony video, even though the video was blurry and they couldn't see everyone's face in detail. The informant testified that many existing members attended the graduation ceremony, saying the day the graduation ceremony video was filmed was the first face-to-face worship service in almost 3 years after the pandemic. This is a text message from Chicago's informant on November 17, 2022, before the 100,000 graduation ceremony. Let me read this text message as it is. Yes, there is. Chicago recorded a video with the new graduates during a graduation ceremony a week and a half ago to send to Korea so they can show parts of it during their ceremony happening in Korea. Those who already graduated were still included in the ceremony and filled the seats, so it looks like more people graduated than is actually the case. It was the first in-person service with all the saints that has happened in almost 3 years. According to this informant, the Chicago members also didn't attend the graduation ceremony in real time on November 20th, 2022, but about 2 weeks before the graduation ceremony, which was the first face-to-face worship service with all existing members in 3 years, they filmed a video of the graduation ceremony and sent it to Korea. In the video of 2022 graduation ceremony, all the graduates of Washington D.C. Shincheonji in the US were wearing masks and the photos were blurry, so it was difficult to identify their faces. However, while watching the video, the informant pointed out that 8 people in the front row whose faces could be identified were fake graduates. This means we can assume that the graduation ceremony in 2022, almost all members of Washington D.C. Shincheonji, as did Chicago Shincheonji, attended together as fake graduates. Washington D.C. Shincheonji is also the place where I previously received a separate report about the 2019 graduation ceremony. This is the text message the informant sent me at that time. Let me read the informant's text as it is. It was basically all the members. But nobody talked about how many actual new students. We were told we are representing Sena students. The informant said that all existing members of Washington D.C. Shincheonji attended the 100,000 graduation ceremony in 2019. I already knew these actions of Shincheonji, but looking at the testimonies of the informants, I once again wondered, why on earth do they have to do this? In the meantime, I was able to get answers to my question from 2 former members from Sydney, Australia, who posted on Shincheonji subreddit right after the 2022 graduation ceremony. It's been long, but let me read the experiences of these 2 former members as they wrote. This is the first former member's post. I know from seeing the video that in the graduation they listed Australia as having approximately 1,100 new graduates. Australia has 1,100 total members, not new graduates. They just graduated all members again, old and new, just like they did in the 2019 100K graduation. They are doing it because Shincheonji wants to spam propaganda articles into the news cycles about the 100K graduation. They will type articles about how the Christian world is shocked by the 100K graduation, or how Shincheonji holds the largest seminary graduation in history. But what they don't tell you is that about 90% plus of these supposed graduates are members who have been part of the church already for years. In November 2019, when I participated in the 100K graduation, they asked all members to wear the gown and sit in the chairs to fill in for people who were currently learning in Shincheonji BB classes and center classes. I knew 부장님's, department leaders, and 구역장님's, group leaders, who wore graduation gowns and sat in graduate seats who had been in Shincheonji for close to 10 years. It's an absolute scam. It would be like Harvard University calling all of its alumni back and graduating them and saying 400,000 Harvard students graduated this year. It makes no sense and Shincheonji is just lying. In January 2020, when Shincheonji reported their annual results only 1 month after the 2019 graduation, what we should have seen is at least a 103,000 plus increase to the congregation members number. But Shincheonji only reported an overall increase of 28,000 plus. So where are these other 75,000 members who supposedly graduated only a month earlier? The answer is that they were all-time members who graduated again and again and again. Let's see if Shincheonji shoots itself in the foot again this time and shows us the real number of graduates in 2022 when they hold their next service where they report the results. We all wanted it to be true while we were still members. Shincheonji told us to feel pride when the first 100K graduation happened, only for most members to end up disappointed later when we realized the numbers were completely faked. The second writing is part of the comments from another former member from Sydney. Let me read this writing too. I'm not even surprised at this stage. An organization has been lying from its inception, lies again. In Sydney branch, back in November 2019, we so proudly uploaded videos and photos of our branch church's graduation to every site we could find to promote the 100K graduation. And less than a week later, we were commanded to remove every trace of it from the internet. From what I'm told, it is 95% old members who have already graduated multiple times before. Just like in November 2019, old members are being told to wear the graduation gown and sit in the seats to fill in for the students who are still currently in BB and center classes and those who haven't passed over for some reason or other. For those who joined Shincheonji around the same time that I did, this has to be like their fourth time graduating in the last 3 years. While preparing for this episode and looking at the information from overseas informants, I was so heartbroken. This is because I'm well aware of the fact that both former members and informants who still remain in Shincheonji truly loved and sincerely believed in Shincheonji. Nonetheless, they had decided to leave Shincheonji. They didn't decide to leave Shincheonji just because of emotional turmoil. It's a matter of salvation. How could they give up Shincheonji because of their emotions? The reason they left Shincheonji was because they knew that the physical fulfillment was not the truth. In Shincheonji, the promised pastor puts the most emphasis on physical fulfillment. In his book, The Creation of Heaven and Earth, Man-hee says this on pages 181 to 182. When reading prophecy or verifying its fulfillment, one must inquire precisely according to the questions who, what, when, where, why, and how. Anyone who fails to acknowledge the physical fulfillment when it comes according to prophecy proves that he or she doesn't believe in God, Jesus, or the Bible. If the 100,000 graduation ceremony is the physical fulfillment of the book of Revelation, unprecedented in history, everything must be clearly presented and confirmed with evidence, and you have to weigh all of them one by one. Existing overseas members were sitting there like real graduates, saying that they will replace the BB and Sena students who hadn't finished studying the Bible yet, or that they needed to make the seats look full. However, for the overseas members who were replacing someone, the Korean members were sitting at the Daegu Stadium in their place. In that way, the numbers were added and added again and again, each replacing the other. All the overseas members who reported to me said that 2019 and 2022 graduation ceremonies were a crime and deception. The reason they say that is because they check everything one by one. They were also sincere believers who dedicated their entire lives to Shincheonji. That's why it took a lot of courage for them to leave Shincheonji. And I think you need that courage as well. It is the courage to face the truth on your own, courage to say it is wrong if the facts you have confirmed are false, and the courage to decide to leave Shincheonji at the risk of suffering if it is not real.